The reason I'm so excited to do this video today is because the brand of this jacket is Momotaro, and in Clark, New Jersey, there is a restaurant called Nomotaro. This is pretty early for an edit, but I keep saying Nomotaro instead of Momotaro. Just please forgive me. And I feel like I should... Something that I didn't mention in the intro is that this restaurant has some of the worst reviews that I have ever seen, such as, literally the worst service and place I've ever witnessed. Don't come here unless you want to feel rushed. This establishment, as other reviewers pointed out, has piss poor service. This is a no taro for me, no more. You seriously need courage to call the restaurant and place an order. That's exactly what I hope I have in 1 second as I call and place this order. I would feel really mean saying that about a restaurant, but since the reviews are public and if you looked up this place anyways, you'd see them, I thought it'd be fine. Okay, so real quick before I call Momotaro, the other Momotaro is a really cool, and just so we're on the same page, basically one of the first Japanese denim brands ever, and arguably one of the best. But Momotaro translates to Peach Boy in English. It's one of the 5 main Japanese folklore stories. I think we'll go over the history in a different video, but all you need to know is Momotaro translates to Peach Boy, and in the folklore, this boy is born from a peach. And he lives with this elderly couple and basically makes them feel young again and encourages them to follow their dreams. So, pretty cool folklore. Also, before we call, a quick outline of this video. 1, this is called the Sashiko jacket, a Sashiko Type 2. I don't think that's correct. I don't know why it's called Sashiko. If anyone does know, please tell me, but I will tell you why that's not what I think it is in Momotaro second. 2, sizing. How does this fit? Good. Does that ever happen to you and you're like, I don't know if I left the stove on? 3, what does this armband mean and what makes this jacket special besides the armband? And number 4, my biggest regret in life.
Momotaro, may I help you?
Hi, can I place a takeout order?
Okay, what's your phone number?
508.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, what do you like?
Nothing bad to report. Maybe this will help Momotaro restaurant. If someone sees this in the New Jersey area, they'll think, oh, I should go there. But I don't know. We still have a lot to see. Also, it takes me a half hour to get there, so I really need to go because he said 15 minutes. So I can't drive in the passenger seat. How's it going? My jacket is the same name as the store.
Really?
Yeah, it's Momotaro.
Really?
Yeah, you want to see?
Where you bought it?
I got it actually in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, let me show you.
Oh.
So you got the Peach Boy right there.
Alright.
Yeah,
Momotaro. Right? You bought it from Japan?
Yeah, Okayama.
Okayama, okay. That's why, yeah. First time I see jacket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know they have this brand jacket.
Yeah, it's real cool. Like they got battle stripes.
Peach Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Have a good one. So, forget all those reviews. 5 out of 5. Great. I love it there. I'm going to go there every single day for the rest of my life. That was nice. And the food looks good. Not sure what all the hubbub's about. Hello. It got darker faster than I thought. So, we'll pick up tomorrow while the miso soup is still hot. Also though, in the meantime, you could like this video, thumbs it up. Apparently that's a really big thing on YouTube. Comment and follow me on Instagram. That would be good for all of us. All right, welcome back. It is Carmichael again. Oh, that's funny. Carmichael is an actual name. It is actually 40 degrees colder today than it was the other day. It's 23 degrees outside. All the spring birds are dying. They're dropping from the skies. It's horrible. All the flowers are starting. Oh, tricked ya. It was just a sound effect. See, no bird hit the window. How silly. It is very cold outside, so I have this base layer on, 21-ounce wool sweater, and then this jacket, and I'm still kind of cold. On to the actual video. We are going to a state park. If it's warm enough where I can go for a little walk, I want to get some shots of this jacket out in nature. But before we do that, Sashiko, number 1, the biggest point here is, like I said, this jacket is called a Momotaro Sashiko jacket, but it's not Sashiko. As far as I can tell, I can't find anything online that says Sashiko is an actual fabric. So, Sashiko is an embroidery technique or an embroidery style, came about in Japan in the 1600s, the Edo era, EDO. So, invented in the 1600s, it's characterized by a very thick white thread, and it's done in all these beautiful ways. It looks great. It's an embroidering technique, and it came to popularity for 3 reasons that are all very cool, so I'll share those with you real quick. 1, it's just beautiful, so people did it to their clothes, and it looked amazing. The next 2 are the cool ones. 2, it added durability to the garment, because if you think about it, if you are embroidering, and there's basically a thin layer of embroidered thread above the actual garment, that thin layer is going to get worn down and scraped or rubbed against things first before the fabric, so it would protect the fabric. And the reason that was so important is because that time in Japan, and really just, I guess, the world at that point, industrial fabrics were really hard to come by, expensive, rare, kind of synonyms there, but they're hard to come by, so you had to protect your garments and make sure that they would last. And then another thing is, since they were hard to come by, when it got colder, there wasn't a winter jacket or a winter version of your clothes, so sashiko came in handy because people would basically quilt onto their clothes or different scraps of fabrics to just make it a heavier garment, and they attached that quilt work by sashiko, and that is called boro. And then the cool fun fact here is that Japanese firefighters from that era used sashiko when they were firefighting, because they would have these big firefighter coats, and they would basically sashiko on a patch, leave a little opening, stuff it with something, and then close it. And then when there was a fire, they would soak their jackets with, what I read, up to 70 pounds of water, and then they'd just go into the fire. Sashiko's really cool, but the one thing it's not is a fabric. So I was like, why is this called a sashiko jacket? And then it dawned on me, and here's what I figured out. So there's 3 main types of weave. There's twill, like jeans, there's satin, like silk, I believe, and then there's plain weave, like this jacket. So I was like, okay, that's not sashiko. There's really no such thing as a sashiko fabric or a sashiko weave. But during that era, the firefighters' coats and gis that are used in martial arts, and basically a lot of clothes, they used the plain weave. And the plain weave was inducive to sashiko embroidery. So when you're buying this jacket, they're not saying this is a sashiko jacket. They're saying this is a plain weave jacket that was oftentimes sashikoed. That's why it's called the sashiko jacket. It took me so long to realize that. This, what you're seeing, is plain weave, I think. It may not be plain weave. I'm wrong all the time. If I'm wrong, someone correct me. I'll pin it to the top of the comments. But thank you for coming to my book report. And now on to the rest of the video. Let's go to a state park. No, I just saw on the park website that they're limiting groups to 50 people, which sucks because I was planning on bringing 55 people to my local state park. Dang it, I guess I'll have to go by myself. You would not believe the luck I've been having with this video. I just did the whole thing on mute. Anyway, so it turns out the state park I was going to was an interstate state park. I have no idea what that, well, I know what that means. It's just going basically along the highway. So I stopped here, went outside. It's really cold. It's also super windy, so you can't hear what I'm saying. So real quick, if you want this jacket, it is available on Blue Owl today, like right now. It's probably sold out by now. This video isn't sponsored by Blue Owl, but the guy that runs the company is insanely nice. I was looking at the spec sheet for this jacket on Blue Owl. I don't know if this was because it got imported from Japan to the US, so they had to make some changes. Well, I guess there's really only one thing I don't think is right in the description, so I'll clear that up. But anyways, if you can't get the jacket and you want a size 38, DM me on Instagram, because I'll sell you mine, because I'm starting a clothing line, and I did order the Rogue Territory Sashiko cruiser jacket. Okay, so first things first, the size, I'm 5'9", 150 pounds, and I usually wear a 38. I got a 38 in this. It fits great. It's based off the original Levi's Type 2. It's a little bit more heritage cut. I'm wearing a base layer, a sweater, and my arms were basically bulging out of the jacket, but the chest fit pretty well. I would stay true to size. I don't think this is slim. I don't think it's like wide or bulky. I say this on every video, but I probably, if I could have gotten this again, would have sized up. I always want to get a size bigger because I like that look, but I'm so scared it's going to be too big. Okay, so anyways, really the only inconsistency I saw between Blue Owl and the jacket itself is Blue Owl says the leather patch in the back is made of deer skin. The Momotaro jacket little care tag says it's made out of sheepskin. I think it's sheepskin, but maybe if the jacket had to get imported to America, they had to switch it out for whatever reasons. I know leather crossing borders is not always easy. So who am I to say? I don't know. Anyone, is this thing on? Okay, so kind of going off of the size, you'll notice that there are pleats in the back of the jacket that makes it do this shape. it's not straight, like it doesn't go flat against your back, it kind of bulges out. That's because there's 2 pleats just like on a regular original Levi's Type 2 denim jacket, and that's so you have more flexibility and more movement. The downside is if you don't like looking like you have a turtle shell on your back, then you have an issue. I think it looks pretty good. I go back and forth between liking a straight denim jacket back or the pleated one. The fronts also, since this is more authentic based, are pleated and they do have some stretch, and they're boxed stitch. Some pleats on jackets are just like stitched down on the construction, so they're not actually real pleats, but these are box stitch, which serves the purpose of if you're, well, gaining weight, or if you're bulking up for the winter with big sweaters and stuff, you can slice the box stitches and the jacket will open up a little bit more. And then when it gets warm, just restitch the box stitches. It's as easy as pie and as simple as cake. Drag it on the mic and make them dribble and shake. Which brings me to the main point of this jacket. It is indigo dyed sashiko, but normally things like this are raw or they're rinsed once, so they're basically raw. I think this jacket was pretty heavily washed because it's a pretty medium light blue. It looks like a pair of jeans that got washed like 3 or 4 times. It's that shade of blue. And you could see the edges are a little bit more worn down, which makes me think that's from being in the machine when it was getting washed. I didn't see mentioned by Okayama Denim or Blue Owl, so maybe that's wrong, but it really looks washed. And if you look at the battle stripes, you'll notice that the fabric is actually starting to come through the screen printing, which you usually see with more wear. What makes this jacket special, and one more hidden detail, and what makes Momotaro so incredible, and then we'll finish up with the worst mistake that I've ever made in my entire life. If you're looking at the left sleeve, you'll see those 2 stripes. I'm just going to read this straight from Momotaro just because it's phrased better than I could ever phrase it, but here's the skinny. The going to battle stripes are a symbol of Japanese tradition representing honor and strength. The warrior stripes have been used in many contexts in Japanese history and culture. One of the most well-known associations is from the Japanese folklore story of Momotaro, who carried a flag with 2 white... I love when companies are just so integrated like that. It's so cool. Who carried a flag with 2 white stripes as he left to battle a band of Oni. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, there's another denim company called Oni. And that means ogres in Japanese. Yes, it does. I know. It's insane, really. So that's what the battle stripes are. And that's a huge reason why I love Momotaro. They do all these really cool details. Like the inseam is a pink thread. And I love that. I think that's so cool. And it represents the peach. Again, because Peach Boy. I don't know if they do that on their Type 2 jackets. If they do, I should really buy one. I think if they do it, it's on the side seams. Pink thread. Going to battle stripes, that stuff is super cool. But the other hidden thing on this jacket, which it's not really hidden, but on the top of the booby pocket flap, you'll notice it's lined in the same material that is lining the pocket bags, which is great. I love that detail. Little change in pace here. I want to talk about the biggest mistake that I ever made in my life. I had most definitely the coolest denim jacket ever in existence. It was the BOM-012 BJ. I know, BJ. That is the coolest denim jacket I think that I have ever seen, ever interacted with, and it's gone. And I'll tell you why. But before that, here are some pictures of Taylor modeling it. And actually, when I was going to look up something, I noticed that if you search BOM-012 BJ, Taylor is the top result. Whoa! Let me just read to you how cool this jacket is as we look at pictures of Taylor wearing it. Built from the brand's 10th anniversary 15.7-ounce slub selvage denim, the jacket has been dyed using the previously discontinued Grand Indigo dye. Known for its distinctive color, the Grand Indigo was widely praised as one of the best fading dyes in the world. It has iron oxide dyed pocket bags, which iron oxide rust, so they're very light pink. They look incredible. It came with a commemorative bandana that I have hanging in my room. I don't know why I sold it either. One day I just looked at it and I was like, let's see what happens if I put that online. And within like 2 seconds, someone messaged me and bought it, and then it was gone forever. Anyways, that's about it. Tune in next week where I sell all of my clothes and become a minimalist. That is not a joke.